Umaru Sanda Mochum. Nene Chairman, the Mankralo of the Ada Traditional Area, Nene Agude Obichwe III. Our distinguished District Chief Executive, Madam Sarah Dubaki Pobi, Assembly members and members of the DISEC, our other traditional rulers identified here, our CEO of Citi, FM Citi TV, Samalata Mensa, our distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a real joy to be here this afternoon. What began as the natural response of a media house to a disaster in the form of sending a journalist to tell a story has grown to become a big edifice that we'll be commissioning in the next few minutes. And for that, we give all the glory to God. You can put your hands together for the Lord. What we are witnessing here today is a mixture of a number of things. Responsive journalism that goes where the problem is, but also responsible local leadership, whether it is Shola connecting the reporter to the assemblyman, or the assemblyman connecting us to other assembly people, or the DC receiving us with open arms, even though she wasn't aware initially we were there. This project we are launching today is the culmination of that responsible local leadership, for which I think we should put our hands together for all the local leaders. But today is also a celebration of active citizenship, because we have received donations and support from places too many to mention. Ghanaians, with some of who have no direct connection to the flooded areas, have driven from far and near to donate food, money, water, clothes, and materials to enable us to reach out to the community. Today is also a celebration of responsible corporate citizenship, because each man based on his ability, each company based on their resources. We have seen Ghanaian companies come to the aid of flood victims in ways we have never seen before. And I think that what we are celebrating today is not just the launch of a building, but a spark that shows that the spirit of the Ghana Nkrumah wanted to build still exists. That a Ghanaian who is not connected to a problem can, based on the leadership of a responsible media house, contribute their quota to changing the lives of somebody. And for that, we are grateful. What we are doing here is not an isolated issue. Neneche, beyond the relief items we supplied and the reports we did, the Citi Foundation quickly realized that what was befalling us in various parts of the country was more than simply a flooding issue. It was revealing the many challenges in our communities, the low employment, poor housing, lack of proper social services, for which we needed a solution that would tie all the loose ends together. So a few days into the campaign, we decided that we would take the daring step of building resettlement shelters, because some of the reports showed people whose houses had been devastated, some of which could not be rebuilt for many, many months. We realized, though, that because a lot of these people want to own their own houses, they may not want to stay in a resettlement shelter forever. And based on the deliberation and the advice of the DC and the local leaders, we decided to do a two-in-one. We're building a resettlement shelter that can contain up to 200 people. But when the permanent solution is done and they move back to their residences or they get their own houses, we don't want the building to become a white elephant. So the district has agreed with us that this building we'll be commissioning today would revert to become a skills training center, fully equipped and furnished to provide the necessary skills and training for a lot of the women and the young people in this community, for which I think we should put our hands together for the assembly for that vision. But what we are doing is not just here at Adan East, because when the flooding became serious, there were calls for the water to recede. But even before the water receded, we had sent support to places from as far as Asuojaman, down to North Tong, Central Tong, and South Tong. We went to Upper Manya and came all the way to Keta, Ketu South, and Anglo, and also Adan East. But Neneche, when the waters receded, those upstream of the Volta also started getting flooded. So we received distress calls from Afajato South, South Dai, North Dai, Bando Toko, all the way to Yape Kusohu, Afram Plains South and Afram Plains North. And I'm happy to say that with the support of listeners and viewers of Citi FM and Citi TV, we have sent relief items to at least 19 constituencies in this country. So when we come today, the 23rd of January to Adan to commission this project, it is not to say we are the best. It is to say that even though many things are not going well, Ghanaians can come together, put their resources together, and demonstrate active corporate citizenship. In many countries, there are people who think only of themselves. Those people will not amount to anything. There are also people who think of just their immediate friends and family. Those people will not go very far. But there are also people who think about others who are not related to them, who say, I am because you are, who embrace the spirit of Ubuntu. And that is the spirit with which Citi Foundation has come today. So without wasting much time, I want to say thank you to all who have contributed to making today a reality. We want to give the glory to God, for every house is built by some man, but the builder of all things is God. So after the speeches, we will go and cut the sword and commission the building to the glory of God, to show that never again will people be displaced and be left helpless. I thank you very much for your attention. Have a good afternoon.